Hey everyone, welcome back to the video. In the last video, we discussed about a cap theorem, and in that we discussed about some sort of CP and AP thing. And now I'm thinking we should do about some case studies where actually these things are happening. So I am taking a case of MongoDB and Redis, where MongoDB gives an possibility on CP, means high. You can say the architecture defined on CP, and here Redis gives on AP. Okay. So let's move forward and understand how these things are working behind the scene. So in the case of MongoDB, let's take an example first. We go example by example. We have a DB, okay, which is DB1, which is called a leader node, as I explained in the earlier example where the server goes and find who is their leader node and just they follow them. So for them, there is a followers. Suppose we have 3 followers here, okay. Now everything is going on smoothly and seems fine. They have a heartbeat and all that where they communicate over each other and it's fine. Everything is going smoothly. Now something happened with this and when any user came to their side, they do a write operation, and write operation go to this leader node, and the leader node update to all the replicas and says, oh, you can write on here and all that. This is happening, okay. And for all the user who is using a write, no, like write, sorry, this is right actually. And all the user that having a read node, like asking data from the user, is asking from any of the like they have a load balancer, and load balancer define, okay, from where you need the data, like wherever less. Now suppose something has happened, means our this server is down, so what will happen in this condition? What MongoDB said, okay, we go with consistency as compared to availability. So what we will do when this is gonna down, this gonna will down means the heartbeat says, okay, we cannot able to find it. The server said, oh, our master is dead. So when everyone says master is dead, then there is a vote happen, and vote in which quorum happen, and quorum is a majority of vote who is win. And and then they decide who is their leader again, who is the best replica to be the being the leader again. It will happen automatically, okay. Now in this system, now what will happen, b1 suppose we have, then b1 become the leader, okay, and b2 are the follower db, and b3 also the follower db. So now what will happen, every write operation that user did, it came to this, and read are come to this, and they are just following it, and he pasting the data to this two replicas, and this is happening. But now something more bad happened, and b1 is also down. Now we have only b2 and b3 there. Now if this occurs, b2 and b3 only we do not have any majority, so it's very typical to get any leader. So if it's there not any leader, if we update the data here to make the system available, we update some data here, we can update some data here. They are not checking who is their leader, they're just updating the data. And suppose you are asking data from here, you're asking from data here, as per load balancer they are not consistent, and they are giving a roughly very rough data, they are completely raw. So MongoDB said that we cannot tolerate this because our agenda to give you correct data. So they said if this condition arrive, we make our whole system down until we fix it. So in that zone, you cannot write it. That's why this is example of CP, consistency over availability. Consistency over availability means I need availability. but consistency is more important to me, like in bank system, stock system, trading system, and all the year. Okay, now let's go into another example of Redis. Okay, let's move the hand here. Let's take an example of Redis. Okay, let's I move. Just give me a stroke also. Let's do this. Okay, sorry. And let's change the color to red because Redis is red. So Redis is on AP. AP means availability over consistency, but it also consistent, but it's have availability over consistency. So Redis is also same. It have a master one and it have a different replica one. Okay, and all the replica one follow the master one. The master of what the master says, it just follow them. But in the case of Redis, we have one thing which is called Sentinels. Sentinel. I think it's Sentinel. Yeah, it's Sentinel. It have Sentinels which says okay, it just check the health of master. And we do not have only one Sentinels, we have multiple Sentinels. If we have a multiple Sentinels, like here you can see Sentinel 1, Sentinel 2, Sentinel 3, and it have only one job to check the health of master. Okay, okay. So let I explain you with an example, with a good example, the whole scenario. Then I think you will get a better understanding on this rather than pictures. That's why I don't like when we explain via pictures. I think we can't understand because it's not our thoughts. So suppose this is Redis. Okay, the star will look like this. I think. Okay, so this is Redis. Okay, now what will happen? This is one Redis node which is called a master one, and Sentinel is observing one. S1, S2, S3 is observing it, and these are the replicas of R1, R2, and R3. So suppose what happened, Sentinel once send a request and he find that he is not available. S2 send a request but it is available. S3 send a request but it is available, means there's something wrong with S1. So what we said, okay, remove S1 and add a new Sentinel, but master one is alive. Okay, here the because here the majority voting important, because suppose master is, huh, but suppose we have a multiple senators, and but what is the situation here? Suppose senator, there is some in there is something wrong with this senator and master is up, but it is saying okay master is down, then there is a very bad situation. So in that case we have multiple senator who is observing the master, and and when they all say, or the majority of say, master is not available, master is dead, so what will happen, voting happens. Suppose suppose this is our master and it is dead. Okay, this is dead. Now all the senate, it have a replica R1, R2, R3, R4. Then all the sentinel said they are dead. They direct their replica to find a good node which are able to replace master. So there is a like same leader discovery node and all the thing of voting occurs in between them, and they give you R1, R1, R2, but it is not the same in a split brain occurs, because then in this case the sentinels decide. In this case the sentinel decide who is the best one to give the in the case of here we can say who become the leader node. Sentinel decides. So like R1 is changed to master, R3 and R4. So here we see availability as compared to consistency. So suppose we have a situation same in a MongoDB situation we came, and suppose we have R2 and we have R3 and R4, then Sentinel find that okay this is dead. Sentinel find that this is dead. This R2 is dead. This R2 is dead. So in the case of MongoDB, it will down the, because we do not have any majority voting, and then he just down the whole server. But in this case, what will happen? What will happen? The Sentinel just up the R3 as the master node, and R4 is the following node. So this is the whole scenario in which availability partition tolerance means AP is happening. Okay, so I will explain you why images as well. Let's go to images, pen, and scroll it down. So here the write is master and read replicas, monitoring via Sentinel node. I explain you this thing. We can write in master, read in replicas, and monitoring via Sentinel node servers. Who's the situation just monitoring, and this is the again example of, so it is the same example of, I think. So this is where the this is the good example of CP and AP, and hope you understand the concept of CP and AP and how the MongoDB and Redis actually acquire these things and they are running in our day-to-day life. Because if you do not go in a proper architecture fashion, it may is very, it mean like we could get a lot of situation in which your data is corrupted, your data is available but it is wrong and all that. So but it will also depend in which situation we have defining these data, like in a view counter or in the like counters. We do not need consistency. Okay, we can stay consistent after a while, but yeah, we need to be available in spite of getting 503 in the kind like count. We can say we can become consistent, we can become available. So that's all from my side, guys, and in this video, hope you loved this video and stay tuned for the next one.